name is Harry Allen, and I'm really excited and honored to be here for the 5th Future of Music event here at Tekserve, the Honest Weights and Square Dealings Apple Specialist Store. We're going to meet 4 musicians who are using the iPad to perform in new ways anywhere. We're going to see how the proliferation of the iPad and iApps has empowered amateurs and pros alike to be completely creative. Tonight you're going to hear and see how our guests Peter Kirn, Oliver Chesler, Steve Horelick, and Joshue Ott perform live. You'll hear how you can use the tools they're using, whether you're an advanced musician or just getting started.
So I sort of represent the past of music, or at least some continuity to the past of music.
Okay.
Because what we have connecting this stuff here is MIDI, a technology that grew out of the late 70s and was unveiled in 1983. So using hardware called the MIDI mobilizer, which is a MIDI adapter, I take the 2010, 2011 iPad, translate into this language that's been the lingua franca of electronic music gear since the 80s, and I'm connecting tonight to our synthesizer, the MeBlip, which is an open source hackable synth designed by my friend James Graham in collaboration with my site. So all of the sound is coming from the synthesizer. So the iPad's place is actually just sending musical events, just sequencing musical patterns for that hardware.
Very cool. Well, let's see what you can do.
All right.
Peter Kirn. Gentlemen, Oliver Chesler, aka the Horrorist, who, despite the fearsome name, is a really sweet-tempered guy, it seems.
Thank you. Everybody says that. It's still early.
Well, tell us, what are we going to hear tonight from you? What are you going to be doing?
In my studio, I'm still using a computer with Ableton, and when I perform live, I'm still using my MacBook. On the couch, I'm glued to this. And this is a lot of fun. The rest of it's really work. I'm just going to do what I do on the couch and show it to you. And I have a feeling after you hear all this, you're going to be like, oh, that's a lot of stuff.
So we're being actually invited into your living room right now.
Sure.
Wow. Are you ready?
OK, I'm sending a signal. I don't know. That's my signal.
All right, I think that's it.
OK, so what I'm going to do is the iPad is going to be, it's an app called Voice Jam by TC Electronic, and it's a looper. But it's a special looper because it's a 360 looper, and later you'll see why that's really cool. And then the iPhone is going to be my sound source, multiple sound sources. So I'm going to start with a drum machine app called Tweaky Beat, which is basically like a Berlin minimal drum machine because it has a deep shuffle and random mode. So it's glitchy. So right now I've got a kick drum, and you see the red dots, and you can follow me along on some of these. But there's red dots for the kick. I'm going to put some yellow. Now, I'm going to hit random on the yellow. And I can keep hitting that, but that sounds good, so I'm going to keep it. I'm going to put a green dot. That little hook at the end, I'm going to randomize that. OK, so that's all I want from this. Now I'm going to record that probably 4 bars into the looper. And all I do is just hit play and stop. So that's recording. 2. All right, so now they're both playing. I'm going to kill the iPhone. Now it's in the looper. Now the iPad just recorded that. And now I'm going to add, this is a vocoder app called iVoxel. I was going to do this live, but I was getting some feedback issues at home. So I recorded, I just used my mic into the iPhone, and I recorded a little sample. This is what it sounds like. Let me turn it up. Body. It says, I want your body. Here we go again. I want your body. But what's cool is, I'm actually going to go into edit mode. So I double click that, edit, and here's that sample spread out over time. And now if I take my finger, and you can't do this on a computer. Check this out. I want your body. So I can drag anywhere. Wait, but that's on everything. Now I'm going to record myself playing that into my looper. So check it out. Ready? I'm going to go to the top, hit record, and play. I want your body.
Now, I'm really into control surfaces. You know, I have the OM64 that I use, and I collect control surfaces. So that's what we have here on the iPad. This is a custom control surface that is, and I'll show you how I can construct it after I'm done playing it, but you can actually put the controls anywhere you want and then map them to control anything you want. So I have it coming out of here, and as you can see on the screen here, I'm using it to control Logic's sculpture. So this piece is me using the iPad to control a software synth.
Excellent. Steve Horelick.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
The program that I'm going to show tonight on the iPad is called Thicket.
Okay.
And Thicket was actually inspired by live performances that I've done with SuperDraw with a frequent collaborator of mine, Morgan Packard.
Now, is this also one of your apps?
Yeah, Thicket is my app. I made it. I programmed it with Morgan Packard. Morgan actually wrote the audio code for Thicket. So the sound you're going to be hearing was created by Morgan Packard. And the visuals that you'll see were created by me, and we worked together very closely on this to make an app. We weren't really trying to make an instrument.
Interesting.
We were going
you
for
kind of
more
went.
of a,
You kind of made an instrument sideways, so to speak.
yeah, we're going for more of an art toy or a game or something. We want to move in that direction rather than to make an instrument or to make something that you can, set the BPM and have lots of sliders and stuff for. You'll see why in a second. Okay. So the way Thicket works is it's a. I'm seeing it there too. Okay, cool. So it's a multi-touch. It's very multi-touch. So when I put my fingers on it, it will react sonically and visually. And you can use as many fingers as you want, and you can do all kinds of different things with your fingers. And what I'm going to show you tonight also is this is sort of the basic standard mode in Thicket. And what we've done is we've made the tilting of the pad actually control which mode you're in. And some of the modes that I'm going to be showing to you tonight you can buy this on the App Store right now, but some of the modes that I'm going to be showing you tonight they're like beta versions that are, this is a beta early version of some new things that we're working on. I'm very excited to show them to you, but they're not available just yet. This one actually is available.
Is there a way yet to sort of make the iPad be both the engine and the controller? Like I saw you guys were all using like an iPod Touch or something to be the sound source, but is there a way to make it all in one?
Yeah, there are actually there are a lot of apps that are full sequencer MPCs. There's a ton of them. I have them all. I don't use them because it's too small. I want to, I'd rather, if I'm going to do that kind of meticulous editing and placing things on and arranging a 4-minute song, I want to do that on a larger screen. I want more precision. They will get there. The interface will get there. They'll, and the thing about a larger size is when it gets lighter. I think they'll have it.
Right, and that's also kind of, it's a reflection on the user, not just the technology. If you were stuck on a desert island with the iPad, you could produce an entire album, and that's not a problem. For the same reason that the computers that we have now are not the computers that we had 10 years ago or 20 years ago when we made music.
Where is this going? What would you say is the future? It seems to be all going so fast, and I'm sure there's more stuff coming out that we can't even really imagine quite yet, especially with the next iteration of the machine. Where do you see it going, or where would you like to see it go as music makers with this device?
In terms of the Mac, I'd like to have a 27-inch iMac iPad. I mean, I want 27 inches.
Big display that you can touch.
Big display.
Yeah, they need to put this in a big.
Get rid of the keyboard altogether. You don't need it anymore. It's just kind of a
treated like they did the floppy drive years ago.
But I want to be able to touch my soft synths and make controls, or touch a button and bring up a special controller and then touch what I want it to control and do it. And I just want to touch.
Something tells me that's on the way, though. I'm thinking.
This tune is called "Echoes of a Dream." It kind of falls in the category of minimalism. What I've done is created algorithms in Logic using Logic's environment to make musical choices. Of course, I'm telling it what notes it's allowed to play and how often it's allowed to play them, but I never know exactly what notes are going to come out. So it's kind of like jazz in a lot of ways, playing with another person. This piece starts out with me improvising with Logic, and then it's going to go into this kind of crazy period where I've invited my friends my crazy friends to play along. We've never done this before, so we'll see what happens.